Hi folks, and welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors with Bob Coker. We're in Leakey, Texas. We're hunting with Heacker Safari Ranch, and we're hunting with Rhino Heacker. He's the owner of the ranch, and he owns the
Rhino Outdoor Adventures.
Rhino Outdoor Adventures is the name of his outfit. And folks, soon as we got to the lodge, we were looking in the lodge, and he has free-ranging elk,
Axis,
white-tailed deer,
wild boar,
cyca deer,
and of course what we're looking for, which is Auodad.
They have trophy Auodad.
That's right, folks. Back in the 1930s, they brought the Auodad in from South Africa, and they have thrived in the hill country of Texas.
He has thousands of them in herds of 40 and 50 at a time.
That's right, and they're all free range.
He has the perfect, pristine terrain for these animals. He has cliffs and rolling hills and mountains.
That's right, folks, and Rhino also has several other ranches that you can hunt in West Texas. Rhino sure did his homework for this hunt, folks.
He sure did. 3 weeks before we got there, he started putting out come here deer and put up the blinds so that the animals...
brushed them in real well so the animals wouldn't see them.
Then he put up motion detector cameras, and he had over 2,000 pictures for us to look at once we got there.
Right, and there were a bunch of large herds of Auodad came in, and most of the pictures were of Auodad.
And fortunately for Dana, he did this because this was supposed to be a trophy hunt for me for a trophy Auodad, but he spotted an Auodad that had a broken horn, and he told Dana that if this one came in, he needed Dana to cull it out of the herd. So now it looks like, Dana, you might even get to do some hunting on this trip.
I'm up for that.
I hope it comes in.
And we weren't in the blind very long at all. The first time out, and here we saw Auodad coming down the mountain.
Coming right down the mountain toward us. That's an Auodad bellering. You hear that? I don't know if you can hear it or not. That's an Auodad. He's up on that mountain bellering. Hopefully he'll come on down this way and we'll get a shot at him.
Well, Bob, I guess you thought this was going to be a slam dunk easy hunt, huh?
I thought it was going to be a slam dunk. Here we had all these Auodads on motion detector cameras, and right off the bat, one's coming right at us.
They had different ideas. Well, folks, at this point, we didn't have the mesh up on the blind, so
we didn't know
they could see into the blind.
Yeah, we didn't know how good their eyesight was, and every time we picked the camera up, they could see the lens.
Or they were smelling us. We don't know. We still don't know.
We still don't know. We're on a learning curve here trying to hunt these things.
Folks, y'all stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this commercial break from Leakey, Texas.
Well, folks, we're back in the blind, and we're still hunting Auodad.
Yeah, and unfortunately, pigs came in this morning, too.
Auodads were coming from everywhere, but so were the pigs.
And at this point, we figured we're going to have to put the mesh up and just film through the mesh. We don't like to do that because the footage is not as good, but we just had no choice.
You got to do what you got to do. Several of them up on that cliff on the side of that mountain. We hadn't been in the blind too long, and to our right came this huge group of Auodads, and they stood there for a long time until finally one of the older males pushed one of the subordinate males out and caused him to go out and be the scout.
This is one of the hardest animals I think I've ever had tried to shoot with my bow. We've been here all day long for 4 days, and every single time we see a group of them, we don't make a noise. We don't make a noise, and we're hid. They have to be smelling us. We've got the wind in our favor. I don't know what else to do. We got this line brushed in. We had 2 groups coming. We had a big group coming over here from the left and a big group coming from the right. You can hear them going up the cliff right now, pushing rocks everywhere.
Bob, you was getting a little discouraged about this time, weren't you?
Man, I'm going to tell you, I'd done run out of ideas, and I had no idea why we couldn't get an arrow in one of these
You just
Auodads.
thought you had ran out of ideas.
Well, yeah,
you had no idea what was coming
I
up.
didn't.
They came back. And it's nerve-wracking. My hands are sweating. My adrenaline's pumping. What the crap? The wind's in our favor. We didn't make a sound. And all of a sudden, one of them took off running and the rest of them ran with it.
Folks, we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll see if Bob can spook some more of these Aoodad off.
I'm sure I can.
Well, it was a good thing those white-tailed deer came back and started eating that Khmer deer.
Yeah, those Auodads were up in the cliffs. They were looking down at us. We didn't know if they were still up there or not, but as soon as they saw the deer into
they
that...
couldn't stand it.
They couldn't. They had to come down, and they started filing down one at a time, and then finally, man, a whole herd of them coming, and they just kept coming.
Yep.
Then they all started filing over to our left, out of range, and where I couldn't shoot out the blind. And then finally, one veered over to our right, right in front of the blind, and then the rest of them followed suit.
It looks like Bob got busted again. I think they must have heard you draw.
I must have. I finally got drawed on one.
Yeah, finally.
Next morning, all of a sudden, folks, guess what? The Auodad shows up with a broken horn. 5 days of running the camera, and now Dayna's the hunter, and I think it caught him off guard.
Yeah, I think it caught both of us off guard.
Yeah, Dayna's bow certainly wasn't in his hand. The camera was. He hands me the camera, and now he's trying to get his bow, and it's laying in a bunch of plastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
me.
talking about a fiasco.
Wow. I never thought we could pull this off with all that noise going on. As much trouble as we've had with me trying to get drawn on one.
Yeah, but that was you, Bob.
I know, and this is you.
See the blood? Oh yeah, she's going down. All right, it's down. Within camera view. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Folks, we have seen Auodad every day. I'll tell you, they're one of the smartest animals that I've ever been involved in. Hunting, we've hunted South Africa, we've hunted Argentina, New Zealand, we've hunted all over Canada. But these animals are tough. It's like they got a sixth sense when they come in. It's just like they know you're there. Auodad down, folks. There won't be any blood trailing or have to find the arrow on this one because we can see him from here. I don't know how we're going to get him down from there. I don't know how Ryan's going to get him down from there.
Dayna, you put the swag daddy on it, didn't you?
Some hard hunting up here in the hill country of Texas.
Rhino, you put us on him, you put us on him.
Well, you guys hunted hard for him, and you got the exact Auodad we saw on spotting camera I told you to take if you got a chance. And
The Matthews Z7 Extreme put the swack on him.
Yep. Yep. This is one that had the broken horn you got in the motion detector cameras, and it's the one you wanted us to take, and we lucked up today.
Made a great shot, Dayna.
It's been pretty tough hunting.
Perfect shot.
Seeing Auodad, that's no problem. There's Auodad all over this ranch.
We saw hundreds of them, folks.
Free
Big,
range.
huge ones. Yeah, free ranging. It's a, North African animal.
The Auodad are from North Africa, and they run free range out here in the Texas Hill Country.
They brought them in what, 30s, 40s?
Yeah, back in the early 30s.
And
Now
they've got their natural habitat like they would if they were in South Africa, all these cliffs and everything. And but boy, they've just flourished here, and you've got hundreds of them. And folks, if you want a challenging hunt with a bow, this is the place to do it.
This is it, folks. It's like they have some kind of sixth sense. They just know you're there, no matter how well brushed up you got a blind.
And boy, it was gratifying, wasn't it, Dayna? I tell you what, we were elated.
We've hunted hard.
We were elated about putting the arrow slap through him. But folks, this is a pristine ranch. I'm telling you, and it's got all kinds of exotics, and it's free range.
That's right.
That's the key to this. It's free range, folks.
Can't thank you enough, Ryan.
You bet.
Folks, if y'all want to go on a whitetail deer hunt or an exotic hunt, call the number at the bottom of the screen. Rhino here will put you on it. I guarantee you. Ask for Rhino. He's the owner. He will put you on some animals. Now how are we going to get him off this cliff?
That's his problem. He's the guide.
We got a little hike up the hill. At least, you know what? It did us a favor. It almost made it to the top.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the bottom.
Thank you very much.
Well, Bob, I finally showed you how to do it. You're up again, buddy.
I wasn't taking notes though, man.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
I know I should have. Within a couple of hours, we had Auodad all over us again.
But, can you close the deal?
I'm gonna try.
Folks, I don't know how many times that has happened. Now, I don't know, he didn't hear us, he couldn't see us. I don't know what the deal is, but they seem to send a scout out in front of the herd to scout things out. If he runs off, the rest of them go with him.
Well, I guess I can't close the deal. Well, folks, lucky for me, the deer came in again, and this caused the Auodad to come back. Boy, those deer are my good luck charm.
They are. What you got to understand, folks, is with no wind blowing, you could hear a pin drop, and these things could hear a pin drop from about 200 yards.
And me and Dana had to come up with a plan on how in the world I'm going to get drawn back without these Aoodads hearing us.
Right, and many years ago in South Africa hunting kudu, we figured out if you make some noise that's natural, then you can draw while you're making that noise. So we had to come up with something quick.
It's kind of like a cover sound to go over the draw sound. So
Right.
Dana can whistle just like those doves when they're about to roost in a tree. So we decided Dana was going to do that whistle sound 3 times in a row. The first 2 times is just to see the reaction of the animal. And then on the 3rd time, if this whistling didn't spook them off, then the plan was I was going to draw. So let's see how that works.
One on the left. Yeah, baby. Yeah. What a tough hunt, folks. Oh man, and I got a trophy. And I've put 2 arrows through him. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Heacker Safari Ranch, folks. That's the ranch we're on. We're hunting with Rhino Heacker. This is his ranch.
You finally got it done.
Look at the handlebars on this thing. I'm telling you what.
Hey, we waited till the last day to get her done, but we did.
Rhino Outdoor Adventures is the booking agent or the outfitter, and we're on Heacker Safari Ranch, and I have killed me a monster handlebar Auodad, folks, and this is one of the most challenging hunts I have ever hunted with my bow.
Folks, we've seen hundreds of these things.
Hundreds.
With a rifle, first day.
Been over.
But with a bow,
It
this
is
a
challenging.
challenge.
And folks, this is free range. There's not very many places in the United States where you can hunt an Auodad on a free range like this, especially with the numbers that they have. We literally saw Auodad every single time we went to the stand, but they are elusive and they busted us.
More than any animal I've ever hunted in even Africa.
Call the number at the bottom of the screen, ask for Rhino, he'll put you on one.
He can do it.
Till next week, folks, be safe, shoot 'em straight, and may God bless. We'll see you next week on Outdoors with Bob Coker.